After the age of 60, many people experience a noticeable deepening of emotional awareness. Emotions are no longer as impulsive as they once were, and reactions tend to be more measured. Life experience creates a broader emotional vocabulary, allowing individuals to understand what they feel and why they feel it with greater clarity. This emotional depth often leads to a stronger sense of inner calm. Situations that once caused intense stress or anxiety may now feel more manageable. People become better at distinguishing between what truly matters and what does not, conserving emotional energy for meaningful relationships and experiences. Another important shift is the reduced need for external validation. After decades of navigating social expectations, careers, and family roles, many individuals feel less pressure to prove themselves. This creates emotional independence and a more authentic way of expressing feelings. Emotional resilience also becomes more pronounced. Having lived through loss, change, and uncertainty, people over 60 often develop a quiet strength. They know pain is survivable, which paradoxically makes them less fearful of emotional challenges. At the same time, emotions may feel richer and more nuanced. Joy becomes more profound, gratitude more present, and sadness more reflective rather than overwhelming. Emotional experiences are less extreme but more meaningful. This period of life also brings a stronger capacity for emotional regulation. People are more likely to pause before reacting, choosing understanding over confrontation. This ability often improves relationships and reduces unnecessary conflict. There is often an increased tolerance for emotional complexity in others as well. Judgments soften, empathy expands, and patience grows. People recognize that everyone carries invisible struggles shaped by time and circumstance. Many individuals also report feeling more emotionally honest with themselves. There is less denial and more acceptance of personal limitations, desires, and fears. This honesty fosters psychological peace. Emotional maturity after 60 can also bring a sense of closure. Old resentments may lose their grip, and unresolved emotions are approached with compassion rather than self-criticism. Overall, emotional life after 60 tends to be quieter, deeper, and more stable, offering a form of richness that is rarely experienced earlier in life. After 60, identity often undergoes a subtle but powerful transformation. Roles that once defined a person, such as professional titles or parenting responsibilities, may become less central. This creates space for a more internal sense of self. Rather than asking who they are in relation to others, people begin to explore who they are in relation to themselves. This shift can feel unsettling at first, but it often leads to a more authentic self-concept. Self-worth becomes less tied to productivity and achievement. Instead, value is found in wisdom, presence, and lived experience. This change can be deeply liberating. People may also re-evaluate long-held beliefs about success and failure. Achievements are seen within a broader life narrative rather than as isolated measures of worth. There is often a growing acceptance of imperfections. Physical aging, missed opportunities, and past mistakes are no longer sources of constant self-judgment, but elements of a complete human story. Identity becomes more fluid and less defensive. People are more comfortable saying no, setting boundaries, and prioritizing what aligns with their values. This stage of life often brings a reconnection with forgotten interests or passions. Without the pressure of external expectations, individuals may rediscover creativity, curiosity, and play. Self-perception also becomes more realistic. Strengths and limitations are acknowledged without exaggeration or denial, leading to psychological balance. Many people experience a renewed sense of personal freedom. The need to conform diminishes, allowing self-expression to feel more natural and sincere. Ultimately, identity after 60 tends to be grounded, integrated, and rooted in self-acceptance rather than social comparison. Motivation after 60 shifts from accumulation to meaning. Goals are no longer driven by competition or status but by fulfillment and emotional satisfaction. People become more selective about how they spend their time. Activities that feel empty or draining are gradually abandoned in favor of those that provide genuine joy. There is often a stronger desire for simplicity. Clutter, both physical and emotional, becomes less tolerable, leading to a more intentional lifestyle. Relationships take on greater importance than accomplishments. Time spent with loved ones is valued more than professional recognition or material gain. Motivation becomes internally guided rather than externally imposed. Individuals pursue what feels personally meaningful rather than what is socially rewarded. This shift can also bring clarity. Decisions are made more confidently because priorities are clearer and less influenced by outside opinions. Many people feel a renewed motivation to contribute in ways that feel purposeful, such as mentoring, volunteering, or sharing wisdom. Fear of failure tends to decrease. With less to prove, people are more willing to try new things without the pressure of success. At the same time, energy is conserved more carefully. Motivation is focused rather than scattered, leading to deeper engagement in fewer pursuits. Overall, motivation after 60 becomes calmer, more intentional, and closely aligned with personal values. After the age of 60, cognition becomes less centered on speed and more focused on depth. Thoughts are processed with greater deliberation, and decisions are often guided by reflection rather than urgency. This shift allows individuals to approach situations with patience and discernment. Life experience plays a crucial role in this transformation. Decades of observing patterns in people, relationships, and outcomes create a strong intuitive understanding of how things unfold. Even when memory retrieval slows, comprehension and insight often become sharper. Reflection becomes a dominant mental activity. People naturally revisit past experiences, not with regret, but with curiosity and meaning-making. This reflective process helps integrate life events into a coherent personal narrative. Rather than reacting emotionally, individuals are more likely to pause and analyze. This cognitive pause creates space for thoughtful responses and reduces impulsive behavior, especially in emotionally charged situations. Another important change is increased tolerance for ambiguity. After 60, many people accept that not everything needs a clear answer. This comfort with uncertainty reduces anxiety and mental strain. Selective attention also becomes more pronounced. Individuals become more intentional about where they place their mental energy, avoiding unnecessary stressors such as excessive news, conflict, or trivial concerns. Memory tends to become more emotionally selective. Experiences connected to relationships, values, and meaningful moments are remembered more vividly than routine or insignificant details. Many people also develop stronger abstract thinking. Questions about life purpose, human nature, and meaning become more compelling, leading to philosophical or spiritual contemplation. Mental flexibility often increases as rigid beliefs soften. Exposure to diverse life experiences encourages openness to new perspectives and reduces black and white thinking. Overall, cognitive changes after 60 emphasize wisdom, integration, and perspective rather than speed or volume of information. After the age of 60, awareness of mortality becomes more visible in daily thought, but it rarely arrives as panic. Instead, it often appears as a quiet understanding that time is precious and should not be wasted on what drains the soul. This awareness reshapes how people relate to life. Moments are no longer rushed through, and attention shifts toward what feels real, grounding, and emotionally nourishing. Presence becomes more valuable than productivity. Acceptance grows not from resignation but from wisdom. People begin to understand the difference between what can be changed and what must be embraced, and this distinction reduces inner struggle. The body, once judged harshly, is treated with more compassion. Physical limitations are acknowledged without shame, and care replaces criticism as the dominant attitude toward aging. Fear of death often softens into curiosity or calm acceptance. While uncertainty remains, it no longer dominates the mind, allowing emotional space for peace. Psychological energy is no longer wasted on control. There is a surrender to the natural flow of life, which paradoxically creates a sense of freedom rather than loss. Relationships are approached with gentler expectations. People forgive more easily, speak more honestly, and prioritize emotional truth over being right. There is also a growing desire for emotional resolution. Old conflicts are revisited with empathy, apologies are offered more freely, and gratitude is expressed without hesitation. Many individuals develop a deeper appreciation for silence and solitude. Quiet moments become restorative rather than uncomfortable, offering space for reflection and clarity. Spiritual awareness often deepens regardless of religious belief. Questions about existence, meaning, and legacy are explored with openness instead of fear. Regret may arise, but it is met with kindness. People recognize that every decision was shaped by the emotional tools and understanding available at the time. There is an increasing sense of alignment between inner values and outward behavior. Life feels more coherent, less fragmented by external pressures. Attention shifts from accumulation to presence. Experiences are valued more than possessions, and emotional richness replaces material ambition. A profound sense of gratitude often emerges. Simply being alive, witnessing another day, or sharing a meaningful conversation becomes enough. Ultimately, psychological peace after 60 is not about having all the answers. It is about being at ease with the questions, trusting the journey, and resting in the quiet dignity of a life fully lived.